Let's take a look at creating a plan sheet where we have the first set of stations across the top and the second set of stations across the bottom. So we'll go to our draft name boundary placement, and we're going to you'll be utilizing the 50 scale, but in our case, instead of 50 scale plan and profile, we're going to be making a new seed file called 50 scale plan. So I'm going to select my scale, and then you may need to adjust your length and your offsets based on your plan ports that you're going to be using. In my case, I'm just going to be adjusting my boundary cords. I'm going to select my alignment, and then I can lock in a station, let's say 1500, and then I need to put in a name. We'll say 50 scale plan, and I'm going to copy that to my clipboard. And then we want to make sure just to place one name boundary. So we'll select OK, and OK one more time, and that pulls us into our create drawing. We can put in our name for our view, for our drawing model default, and for our sheet model default. We'll select our discipline and our purpose. Don't forget to change your scale and select your annotation group if you want one. Make sure your detail scale is also set to 50 and everything there looks correct. So we'll select OK. We're going to pull out our drawing boundary handle again. We'll go to our references and turn off our line style scale. We will be moving this, but let's place our title block first. So we'll go to place a cell, and we're going to be placing our plan cell. So we'll accept that. Now we can move this reference to the proper location. And these blue construction class lines were just part of the cell. Then we need to resnap our corners here. And then we can close our reference dialog. Now we want to go back to that particular drawing model for our plan. So that's going to be our 50 scale plan. And we'll go to our attachments and make those adjustments. So right click and then go to presentation. Turn off the use view flags and select OK. Right click again, go to presentation. And this time we want to tell it to turn on settings from design model, select OK. And then in your view attributes, you want to go back and toggle on the clip volume. Now we want to navigate back to our sheet model for our 50 scale plan sheet. And we're going to add, just like we have here, we have a drawing boundary for the top. We want to add a second drawing boundary for the bottom. And so you want to switch to the admin mode, which you can only do in this sheet model mode. And under the admin mode, you want to place a drawing boundary. And again, we'll be able to select, this is a civil plan, and the scale is 1 inch is 50 feet in my example. And we're going to snap to our upper left corner and to our lower right corner. And then we want to accept the placement. And then once you've done that, then you can reset to close that command. And so then we want to open up our properties panel. And if we look at our first drawing boundary handle, you'll see that's 1 inch is 50 feet. It's drawing identifier number 1, and it's 50 scale plan is the name. I'm going to put in here a top, and I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard. And I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and on this one, I'm going to put in the name here, call this bottom. It's like I've done there. And so that's drawing identifier number 2. Now, if you would have referenced in a title block, it would have put in a drawing boundary down here. You'll need to delete the drawing boundary that would go with your referenced title block. And so this is the way that the final should appear. Also notice that this is on a draft name boundary for the level. So you may want to come down here and change that level as well to the draft name boundary, or just to be consistent. And if you wanted to set these on a construction class, you could do that as well. So that's the trick to doing a plan, and it's going to be also the same concept for a profile sheet. And whether you put the first one on top and the second one on bottom, or you put the first one on bottom and the second one on top, it's just a matter of where you move that first reference file and where you place the second entry. If you don't want your construction class to be on when the user cuts their sheets, you can, in your sheet model here, go to your view attributes and turn off your constructions and then save those settings. Just a reminder, if you have to move this reference, make sure you turn your construction class back on, then move your reference, resnap your corners, and then turn your construction class back off. Once you're done, it's always a good idea then to come back to your multi-model mode. I typically select the default view and then save settings and compress design. Don't forget then to go into Explorer because you've created a new sheet. You want to remove your annotation definitions and your annotation groups. On these annotation definitions and groups, if you're going to be making several in the same DGNlib, you can wait and do this step when you're all done. You don't have to keep coming and doing this after each one.